Alright guys, what's up? It feels like something very wrong about this. This feels a lot longer than 15 notes. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Okay, that's just... it's just really weird to see cosmic monsters all the way through. So yeah, I've spoken a lot about doing cosmic era pointless videos. Like, on my other, mostly corrupted era videos, I'll be honest. Like, you know, I can just talk about whatever I want. You know, something that has nothing to do with my... Okay, calm down. I get you music, you're trying to pop off, you're trying to add the vibes, but, like, chill, please, for a second. So, how was your day? Yeah, so, I think I had already mentioned the point I want to talk about in this video, which is the Batman Who Laughs. Now, for anyone who's coming here for, like, my usual focused, you know, great commentary content, click on another video. I post like 7 videos a day. I guarantee you there's another video. Watch that instead, because like this is gonna be talking about DC Comics, and like nobody outside of fans of DC Comics knows about DC Comics, so well, everybody knows what it is, but nobody follows it. So basically, I've been surfing around the internet. The algorithm has mastered me, you know, basically like it just tells me what to do these days. It knows exactly what I'd be interested in clicking on. Like, usually people are like, oh my god, the YouTube algorithm thinks I want to learn how to make a toilet. Which sometimes it does. Sometimes it might even think you're a toilet. Start recommending toilet cleaning brands. But for me, because I used to have a YouTube account for a very long time, and because, you know, Google just casually steals your data, it still knows what I like from that old account. So it was like, oh, you like comic books. I'm gonna suggest you comic book channels. Which, for those of you who wouldn't know, it's basically just the one channel called Fernando Comics. I think that's it. And it's basically a free way to just read the comic books without buying it. I can't tell if that is morally wrong. And if it is, I'm sorry. But, you know, shut down the channel. Don't shut me down. Anyways, so the concept of the Batman Who Laughs is a Batman in a dark multiverse. Which there are dark multiverses where basically, of all 52 worlds in the higher multiverse, the stories that we know, like Superman, Red Sun, and such, there's a dark multiverse world for each one, and the counterparts aren't even like they're in the negatives, right? Like there's Earth 52 and there's a negative Earth 52, but they don't correlate, you know. Like I think it was something like Earth 2. Its counterpart is like Earth 20 negative 24. You know, like it's not tick for tack, but it's close. And then once these worlds, like once they have their like dangerous event, like a Superman turned evil, or like a nuclear war or something, then the world is destroyed. The world ceased to exist. It just turns into nothing. You know, because it's a dark multiverse. It doesn't matter. And in one of these multiverses, there was a Joker who had destroyed Gotham. Like, in the picture of it, Gotham was like straight up buildings on fire, burning down, like just like irreparable. Like I know Gotham is just like Gotham has the plot armor of Batman, honestly. Like you can do anything to Gotham, and they'll be like, you know what? It was nothing but a thing. So basically, it's like literally, I thought there was magma. How much fire they chose to put on the streets. And then Joker has Batman tied up. He beats him up, and then right in front of him, he recreates the killing of Bruce's parents, except to an orphan. Like he kills a parent's orphans as they're walking down the hallway, right? Or what was it called? No, what's the thing in between streets called? Like alleys. Okay, alleyways. Whatever. as they're walking down it, and then he gives the child Joker gas, so it becomes like the kid becomes insane. She's laughing, and that is like the breaking point for the Batman. So much to the point where he immediately breaks out of his bonds, goes like leaps towards Joker, and he kills him, right? But the thing with that is, like, when Batman kills Joker, a dangerous neotoxin, I think they called it. It doesn't really matter what it's called. Basically, a toxin that is not dangerous at all when Joker's alive, but when he dies, it comes out of him, and it leaks out of his mouth, and it's enough to infect anyone within 3 feet around him when he dies into like another insane Joker. Just basically keep the legacy alive. And since Batman killed him and he had him in a chokehold, that was Batman. And so the Batman becomes infected with like the insane Joker toxin. And like, he's a Batman. He fought the Joker. Like, of course he lasts a while. But for anyone who's seen that one comic where Scarecrow gives him a toxin where he lives without fear, and then he becomes so brave, he ends up getting killed by Superman because he just lashes out on him. You know that Batman is pretty dangerous. But Batman transforms so slowly that it wasn't like he had enough time to like realize, oh, this isn't who I want to be. He realized, like, because it changes your brain. He was like, oh yeah, this is fine, this is me now. So like he ends up inviting the Bat family to the Batcave, and they're basically like, what's going on? And he explains to them what happened with Joker, like the toxin in his brain and everything. And then they're like, oh well, don't worry, you trained us, so you were training us so hard this past week, because that was like the time between this event and that one. It was like, you're training us so hard so we could beat you. He was like, yes. He was like, but you don't understand. And they're like, oh, what don't we understand? He was like, you guys can't prepare for me because I have something you're not prepared for. And he just turns around and just lets loose with a machine gun. Now, important thing to note here is that he invites all of the Bat family except for Damian Wayne, his like the League of Assassins Robin, basically, right? So at first it's like, well, maybe he's just doesn't have a Damian Wayne in this universe or something. Like, you could just come up with a one-off excuse. But it turns out it's on purpose, because he makes an army of Robins, basically, that look like basically Joker Robins out of the orphans that got infected with the Joker toxin, just like the one he killed his parents in front of Batman. And like, so he kills everyone but Damian Wayne, and then it cuts to like, I don't know how much time is separated between this particular event and the next one, but basically he invites Superman to, he's like, it's urgent, something big happened at the tower. I'm scratching my head for the name of it. What is it called? Justice Tower or whatever? Their floating space thing. Whatever, he invites him up there, and he's like, oh, he's basically going on like one of those weird Batman philosophical rants, right? And he's like, oh, I don't know why you'd think we wouldn't make a great team. It doesn't even matter that, I'm an alien and, all this stuff. And when he gets there, he sees like, I'm gonna have to put like adult on this video, because like I cannot be saying this to a kid audience. He sees like all of the Justice League's bodies mangled with like the doomsday weapons that they have up there, because the Justice League, like, they defeat generic, let's just say generic world-ending threat, and they have a doomsday device that could like destroy cities, and basically Batman uses those to defeat every member of the Justice League. And like, then it turns out, and this is so sad, he has Superman's family up upon it, right? And there's kryptonite in the air, so Superman and his son are slowly dying as is. And then he pulls out a piece, like, he's like, oh, well, because he sees the infected Robin, and he's like, oh, how could you do this to your own son? He was like, oh, but you don't understand. He wanted me to do this, because Damian Wayne, he always wants like somebody, his acceptance from his father, really. So he was like, oh, it took a little bit of pushing, but this is what he wanted, and you know that's just so sadistic. So, and he was like, and he gave me this idea, and as Superman's holding his like son and his wife Lois Lane, it turns out Batman pulls out a piece of black kryptonite, which unbeknownst to me, never knew it existed, but he tells him, I used this on Supergirl, and this is so like so sadistic. It she killed her entire family before it killed her, and he was like, oh no, please, you don't have to do this, you know. And he was like, oh, but I do, and he does it, and thank goodness it doesn't show it. And honestly, I don't know what happened, because later in the series it shows like Superman and his wife and his son like all down to the bone, right? In like a chamber. But if Superman had killed them, he would have like ripped them apart and their bones would have been broken. So I think it actually just ended up like he lasered through them or something, which not better. That's still a family. That's still a kid. That was still his wife. That was still the Superman. But basically, after he does that, he just uses the Doomsday weapons to take over the Earth. Right? No, not even. It's not take over. He's not a warlord. He's a murderer. He just destroys the Earth. Simple as that. And like he's sitting there atop his throne, and he has no idea that what's about to happen is the multiverse, the dark multiverse that he's inhabiting, is about to get just deleted. You know, erased from existence. But Barbatos, which just basically a big demon guy. So basically, I completely forgot where I was. Well, basically, yeah. So he's about to fade into nothingness, but to simplify things, someone who wanted to escape their like multiversal prison, they see how much damage he created, right? How much chaos. And this just goes into like layers and layers of too deep for me to explain in like a 12-minute video. But keeping it simple, they're like basically like, hey, you want to come with me, and we'll spread your chaos everywhere, and you'll slowly destroy everything as we know. Which this is basically the way they literally dragged him out. Like this is main thought of the idea video is like, how far can you drag something out before it's ridiculous? And they made the Batman Who Laughs look ridiculous, because he was just a cool concept, right? And they literally took him to the end of the multiverse as it was. Like literally multiverse ended because they wanted to just string Batman Who Laughs out into literally like so many comics I don't even know. And like here's the problem. That's just the problem, you know, with things as it is. If something ever gets popular, they're like, oh, well, we got to do that only now, and we got to make sure it goes until it's completely dead. And you know what they say, if it's not dead, don't stop using it. And that just leads into like a bigger, like almost I did not do all this. Almost a continuation of the first like Cosmic Era Dungeon videos point of this just in general, reboots are done to death. You will never get to see like a great series die, you know? And even the series that you're like right now aren't being rebooted, and you're like, oh, surely they're not gonna get rebooted. You just wait until like in 2 months, maybe less than that, HBO Max attains the rights to it, and then they just reboot it. You know, so just nothing is safe. And I just find it crazy that they literally dragged a cool concept evil Batman into the end of the multiverse as it was. Also, I've gotten this fancy cube that is apparently very popular as a souvenir, and like it looks real cool right now. I think it's called Shishibo? Yeah. I don't think it's called that. I know, I just checked. It's called Shishibo, and it's the best way I could describe it. It's like a weirder fidget cube, I guess. like in a one sentence summary. I'm surprised this guy doesn't have like a damage mirror with that shield, but then again, he's not Shelly. And like, it's really cool to see what you can make with this Shishibo. Like, I might even do a video of me seeing what I can do with it. Whoa! I just, whoa! This is real cool. Yeah, I might just do a video on this later. Just me seeing what I can do with it. And even though you will be able to see my face, I'm not doing a face reveal. Like, no time soon. Maybe never. Like, maybe I'll just pull an armor claw. And just, like, it doesn't matter how popular I get, I won't do a face reveal. I can't think of anyone else who's done that. Well, I mean, Dream is only really popular because his face hasn't been revealed, and he's got, like, an ultra fan base. Oh my god, I did another cool thing. Bro, this looks sick. So, yeah, I think I'm gonna do a video on, like, using this thing, because... Oh, this looks cool too, but it doesn't stick. The thing with it is it has magnets in it, so if something doesn't stick, then it's not supposed to be done like that. Like, I just did something right here where it's like folded in a way that it really shouldn't be. Or at least it looks like it shouldn't be, but it's like, it's okay, you know? It's not like I folded it and it's about to break. It's a contraption that folds in a lot of different ways to make a lot of different shapes. I always end up with this one shape that kind of looks like the head of Orion from, like, what's it called? Brawlhalla, a game I play a lot, or at least I used to play a lot. Now I mostly have my little brother playing on my account. And something that to this day kind of shocks me is that they've really stuck with that emblem being the curse emblem with what people associate it with. Kudos to you, ML. I didn't think you'd be brave enough, but you were. Yeah, this thing is real cool. You can hear me playing with it right now. I don't know if playing is the right word. I'm like trying to see how cool I can make this thing look. I keep ending up with this one thing that looks like a Batman mask. Oh, whoa. So yeah, if you have one, like, tell me, because if I do make a video with it, I'm not gonna start making tons of videos off it. It'll be just one off because it looks real cool. Like, looks sick, I'll be honest. You know? And wait, how's his life doubled? Or is that healing values doubled? I'm pretty sure that's healing values. So, Earthquake to all. I never got Seaquake. I still don't have him. I still don't know what his moves are. But I really don't know what his deal is. Like, from what I've heard, or at least from what I heard before people got him, he was like some sort of, what's the right word for it? Not denier, torture monster. And I was like, oh, I love torture monsters. But I ended up not getting him. And then sooner, I joined the Monster Legends like online community, and people just hate Seaquake. I'm just like, oh, what did he do to you? Because they are just like ripping him apart. They are like worst monster ever, Seaquake. Which I find that very hard to believe. Honestly, I would say the worst monster ever was old Heyman, right? Because I've seen his moves. I don't get how he was ever released, and if he was ever released not as a joke. Oh, Tish. Okay, so do that. Your time is ended. Oh my god, that really did not help me. Please don't kill him. Hurricane. Oh, I don't have burn, right? I'm fine. Body slam, no? Okay, you're dead. Please don't kill him. Cleanse. Turn transfer. Ah, dang it. Oh, wait, you had healing. With double healing values? Oh. Dang, I've actually never gone this far in this dungeon because I never cared enough to play this far in this dungeon. But this video is giving me a reason to. So yeah, what was I talking about? The Batman Who Laughs, right? So yeah, they did him to death, man. Like, honestly, now I find it cool when I see the Batman Who Laughs. Like, I'm fairly certain he's in Mortal Kombat, right? Because I've never played Mortal Kombat, but I've played it over at other people's houses, and like I've seen the Batman Who Laughs be on it. It might just be Joker with the Batman Who Laughs skin, but like I swear that's what I saw. I don't know. I'll have to look online. But anyways, just a cool concept that got did to death. I'm really embarrassed that this ended up being like the exact same moral as my last Cosmic Era video, which is just like, you know, reboots done forever. How is this even a shape? What is this supposed to be? Oh look, I got a star. Is this a star? Now it's no, it's not. It's Orion again. So I think I've lost officially. Hot chocolate, sir. Yep. And like the thing with the Cosmic Era Dungeon too is I'm not wasting millions more coins than I already do in a day to get these guys ranked up when I'm never gonna use them in a war. Like there's some corrupteds who I'll be like, oh, I never use this guy in a war. And like sometimes that's a lie because I just don't remember. But like there's a lot of cosmic monsters where I mean that genuinely. Like doesn't even matter how OP they are. But yeah, hold on, are his? Okay, that crystal glow is actually still really cool. But yeah, that's pretty much it for this video. Hope you enjoyed. If you like this kind of Cosmic Era video being random and topical, then leave a like, leave a comment on what you thought of my thoughts, my somewhat of a recapping of the events for like someone who doesn't care enough to like go out and learn it. Yeah. So, oh, it's a snake. So yeah, leave a like, comment, and I will respond. Subscribe to join the Crab Army, and yeah, that's pretty much it for this video. Your favorite Omni-Crab signing out.